On this day in history, January 22nd. On January 22nd, 871, the Battle of Basing took place in Old Basing, Hampshire, England, as part of a series of conflicts between the West Saxons and the invading Danelaw Vikings, led by King Æthelred I and his brother Alfred, later known as Alfred the Great. The West Saxons engaged the Viking forces in a fierce confrontation. Despite their efforts, the West Saxons suffered a defeat, allowing the Vikings to maintain their pressure on Wessex. On January 22, 1506, the first contingent of 150 Swiss guards arrived at the Vatican, marking the establishment of what would become the world's oldest standing army. Invited by Pope Julius II, these Swiss mercenaries were renowned for their discipline and loyalty, qualities that made them ideal candidates for the Pope's personal protection. Their arrival signified a strengthening of the Vatican's security amidst the political turbulence of the Italian Renaissance. The Battle of Ridaniya, fought on January 22, 1517, near Cairo, Egypt, was a decisive conflict between the Ottoman Empire, led by Sultan Selim I, and the Mamluk Sultanate under Al-Ashraf Chuman Bey II. The Ottomans employed superior military tactics and artillery to outmaneuver the Mamluk forces, leading to a significant victory that effectively ended Mamluk rule in Egypt. Following this triumph, the Ottomans marched into Cairo, consolidating their control over the region. In 1555, the Ava Kingdom, which had been a dominant power in Upper Burma, present-day Myanmar, since 1364, fell to the forces of the Taungoo dynasty. The decline of Ava was precipitated by internal strife and continuous external threats, particularly from the Shan states. The Taungoo, under the leadership of King Bayanaung, capitalized on Ava's vulnerabilities, leading to its eventual conquest. The Convention Parliament's actions culminated in the drafting and adoption of the Declaration of Right, which outlined the misdeeds of James II and set clear limitations on royal authority. This document later evolved into the Bill of Rights 1689, a cornerstone of the British Constitution that enshrined the rights of Parliament and established essential civil liberties. The events orchestrated by the Convention Parliament not only resolved the immediate succession crisis, but also laid the groundwork for a system of government where the monarchy operated under the law, significantly influencing the future political landscape of Britain. In late 1807, facing the imminent threat of Napoleon's advancing forces, the Portuguese royal family made the strategic decision to relocate their court to Brazil, then a colony of Portugal. This unprecedented move was facilitated by a British naval escort, ensuring their safe passage across the Atlantic. On March 7, 1808, Prince Regent Dom João V and his entourage arrived in Rio de Janeiro, transforming the city into the administrative center of the Portuguese Empire. The arrival of the royal family was met with elaborate celebrations, including salutes, music, and the construction of a triumphal arch, signaling a new era in Brazilian history. During the First Anglo-Ashanti War, the Battle of Enesemunkau occurred in 1824, where the Ashanti Empire defeated British forces. This was one of several conflicts between the Ashanti and the British in the Gold Coast region, modern-day Ghana. The Siege of Multan, part of the Second Anglo-Sikh War, concluded on January 22, 1849, after 9 months of combat. The British forces secured Multan following intense fighting, leading to the eventual annexation of the Punjab region into British India. The January uprising began in Poland, Lithuania, and Belarus as a national movement aiming to regain independence from Russian rule. Despite widespread participation and numerous battles, the insurrection was ultimately suppressed by the Russian Empire. The Battle of Asandlawana, fought on January 22, 1879, during the Anglo-Zulu War, resulted in a significant defeat for British forces against the Zulu Kingdom. On the same day, the Battle of Rorke's Drift occurred nearby, where a small British garrison successfully defended against a larger Zulu force. The United Mine Workers of America, UMWA, was founded in Columbus, Ohio in 1890. The union played a crucial role in advocating for miners' rights, including better wages and safer working conditions. Following the death of Queen Victoria, her son, Edward VII, was proclaimed King of the United Kingdom in 1901. His reign marked the beginning of the Edwardian era, a period of significant social and technological change. Bloody Sunday occurred in St. Petersburg, Russia, in 1905, when peaceful protesters marching to present a petition to Tsar Nicholas II were fired upon by the Imperial Guard. This massacre sparked the 1905 revolution, leading to widespread unrest across the Russian Empire. The SS Valencia, a passenger steamer, ran aground on rocks off Vancouver Island, British Columbia in 1906. The disaster resulted in the deaths of over 130 people and highlighted the need for improved maritime safety measures. On January 22, 1917, U.S. President Woodrow Wilson delivered his Peace Without Victory speech to the Senate, advocating for a fair and lasting peace in Europe without humiliating the defeated nations. This was prior to the United States' entry into World War I. The Act Zeliki was signed on January 22, 1919, unifying the Ukrainian People's Republic and the West Ukrainian National Republic into a single, independent Ukrainian state. This act symbolized the aspiration for Ukrainian unity and independence. Ramsay MacDonald became the United Kingdom's first Labour Prime Minister in 1924. His government introduced various social reforms and marked a significant shift in British politics. On January 22, 1927, Teddy Wakelam provided the first live radio commentary of a football match in the UK, covering a game between Arsenal FC and Sheffield United at Highbury. This event marked the beginning of football broadcasting in Britain. During World War II, British and Commonwealth troops captured Tobruk from Italian forces on January 22, 1941, as part of Operation Compass. This victory provided the Allies with a strategic port in North Africa. The Central Intelligence Group, the forerunner of the Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, was established in 1946 to coordinate U.S. intelligence efforts during the early stages of the Cold War. KTLA, the first commercial television station west of the Mississippi River, began operations in Hollywood, California in 1947, marking a significant expansion of television broadcasting in the United States. Operation Igloo White commenced in 1968, involving the installation of an electronic surveillance system by the U.S. to detect and interdict communist forces infiltrating South Vietnam during the Vietnam War. The Boeing 747, the world's first jumbo jet, entered commercial service on January 22, 1970, with Pan American Airways' inaugural flight from New York's John F. Kennedy International Airport to London Heathrow Airport, revolutionizing air travel. The U.S. Supreme Court delivered its decision in Roe v. Wade on January 22, 1973, legalizing elective abortion nationwide and significantly impacting reproductive rights in America. The Apple Macintosh, a revolutionary consumer computer, was introduced on January 22, 1984 during a Super Bowl XVIII commercial. It popularized the use of the graphical user interface, GUI, and the computer mouse, transforming personal computing. On January 22, 1992, the Space Shuttle Discovery launched the STS-42 mission, carrying Dr. Roberta Bundar, the first Canadian woman and neurologist in space. This mission studied the effects of microgravity on humans. Evo Morales was inaugurated as Bolivia's first indigenous president on January 22, 2006. His leadership marked a significant milestone in Bolivian politics and indigenous representation. On January 22, 2009, U.S. President Barack Obama signed an executive order to close the Guantanamo Bay detention camp. However, strong congressional opposition prevented its full implementation.